bring you this topic, which is an absolutely mind-boggling topic, which is basically how do you use ChatGPT in DevOps. And not only that, but ChatGPT is the next big thing in the DevOps realm. Okay, welcome or welcome back to ClayDesk. If you've not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and of course smash that like button, because ClayDesk is your #1 channel for e-learning, full courses, latest courses, and of course the latest greatest trends. And today the exciting topic is ChatGPT is the next big thing, and I'm going to talk about the use cases. I'm going to give you examples of ChatGPT, how it can relate to the entire DevOps pipeline. So as a DevOps engineer, how does it actually all fit in? And what do we do today? And that is going to change in the next upcoming months. So make sure you stick around and share this particular live stream, because this is going to be super, super exciting. And not only that, make sure you ask questions. Post your questions right here. I have my laptop right here on my lap, and I'm going to be answering the questions as we move forward. All right, so let's jump in, or let's give it a 30 seconds, a minute or so, see if people join in. But why ChatGPT is the next big thing, and that's what I'm going to be talking about, okay? And how does that actually would help in increasing your productivity as a DevOps engineer or a solutions architect. It can be applied to any industry. So whichever use cases I'm going to talk about today, specifically regarding ChatGPT and how it can actually change the future of DevOps or future of cloud engineering, solutions architect, cloud engineer, you name it. Doesn't matter which role you're in. So I'm going to be talking about this. So make sure you stick around, and of course, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and smash that like button, guys. We certainly appreciate that. All right, so let's dive a little bit more into ChatGPT, right? And why ChatGPT is the next big thing in DevOps or your entire software development life cycle, right? Now we've come just a little bit of a background, okay? Just a minute or so. We used to develop software in terms of monolithic application, right? So the dev teams were working in silos, so they were absolutely oblivious to the ops teams, right? And that's really how software development was done, like the waterfall method. Well, that all changed, right? Now we have agile methodology, and we have DevOps, combining both teams together, collaborating in real time, and so forth. So the whole goal is to cut short the software development lifecycle. Not only that, but also create quality software, right? And then take the software and then give it to the end user, which is the client, as fast and as efficient as possible. That's the deal, guys, right? Now, with ChatGPT, how is this all going to change? Well, that's the next big thing. So, hey, I'm going to get into that step by step. I'm going to show you use cases. I'm going to talk about and give you examples how that works. So let's dive right in. ChatGPT, we know, is a powerful language model tool, right? And of course, this is artificial intelligence. So the model kind of learns from the data set that it has or it works on, which is Da Vinci, I believe, right? So it has a wide range of potential applications within DevOps, right? So I'm going to focus this on specifically the DevOps pipeline, right? And of course, in subsequent streams, we're going to be talking about how it applies to other industries. So let me know in comments if you belong or if you have a thought. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So post your questions or comments. It'll be super, super exciting. All right, so some specific examples. So I'm going to list about 6 examples, use cases of how ChatGPT is the next big thing in DevOps. Number 1, which is the first one, is automated ticketing and incident management. Well, we know that we use Jira ticketing, for example, right? Or you may use any other platform, but typically it's Jira that we use for creating tickets and assigning tickets and then generating these tickets, right? So that's really the current process of Jira is, even though it's automated, and Jira, by the way, has its own bot. Jira has a bot that you can actually use that automates the ticketing process or procedure, but it's a pre-configured solution, right? So if Jira wants to the company wants to add some features to it, it's only limited to the company. Well, guess what, guys? ChatGPT will allow you to automatically generate tickets for incidents or to perform the initial stage or the initial triage. Okay, so for example, we can create a ChatGPT bot that is going to generate a ticket. Well, before it actually generates the ticket and assigns the ticket to any of the teams, let's say IT teams or DevOps team or software engineer team or whatever it is, right? Professional services team, etc. But what this is going to do is generate basically a ticket. Is going to prompt you, right? And the benefit of ChatGPT and the ways how it's going to change and why is this the next big thing is, listen up, guys. This is going to prompt you, and then you, in natural language, are going to say, well, generate a ticket with this category, this severity level, and then boom, it's going to go ahead and automatically provide the status, the updates, escalate issues, assign tasks to appropriate team members. Guess what? That's going to save a lot of time because ticketing is used typically as an enterprise-wide within the entire organization, right? So not just specific to the DevOps teams, but software engineering teams also use ticketing. Developers, they may also use those, right? And so forth. So the first one is the automated ticketing and incident management. Now, incident management is pretty cool because typically we don't know what's going to happen to our platform, right, until it happens, and then we react to it, and then we run around and try to fix it, right? Well, what ChatGPT can do, if implemented on your own platform, is basically learn from the previous tickets, right? So let's say for the last 5 years, you input all these tickets into ChatGPT, and then you create a workflow, and you can use Dialogflow. Google has that. That's a software that you can use to create these, or you can use BotPress, pretty popular. Both of these tools, software tools, you can use to create the workflow for ChatGPT to be implemented in the DevOps pipelines. Now, regarding incident management, that's what we're talking about, right? So it will go ahead and learn all the incidents from, let's say, the last 5 years, and then it will predict what's going to happen in the upcoming future, right? So it will warn you that, hey, this is where you're heading. This is what is prone to create an incident. Okay, so automated ticketing and incident is number one. All right, number two. Next big thing that's going to change in DevOps using ChatGPT. Number two thing is infrastructure management and automation. Okay. Now, it's not going to take the jobs away, guys, for DevOps engineers, okay? It's just going to make life easier and easier and easier. Just like I said, going from monolithic all the way to waterfall and agile development. Guess what? It just cuts down the timeline on software development and then taking the software and giving it to the end user. That's the goal, right? And more efficiently and increasing quality, right? So it's not going to take jobs away, but it's going to give you the productivity. This tool, which is a tool, and I like using tools because tools make your life easier, right? Instead of doing things manually or redundantly, you just use a tool. So the next thing, number two, is infrastructure management and automation. Now, ChatGPT can help manage and automate infrastructure tasks. Let me give you some examples. For example, spinning new EC2 instances with a certain AMI, or listing all of these EC2 instances. I know for a fact that you can actually take a look at, if you go to the dashboard in AWS Management Console, you can take a look at the number of instances you have. Let's say, 40, 50, or 60, whatever it is. But if you want to know when they were created, who created them, what are the tags and whatnot, well, you'd have to go and fetch that information manually for most cases. But if you were to use the ChatGPT model, it's going to deliver all the results for you and in a natural language. So I could say and ask something like, list all the EC2 instances that were created for the past 5 years with dates and times, and boom, it's going to give me the entire list. How cool is that, right? So that's the use case. So infrastructure management and automation is absolutely critical, where ChatGPT is going to just go and fetch all of that information. Not only that, it's going to spin up new servers, EC2 instances, it's going to deploy applications for you. So for example, we have regular release cuts, right? Even though that's a small minimal process, but it's a redundant process because every week you have that, every week you have that. So you can actually train this model to do that for you. So with one single command, it's going to go ahead and actually deploy the software into production, right? Going through the entire pipeline, doing the bugs, doing the review, passing the QA tests and whatnot. So it depends on your own workflow and how you want to set that up. So infrastructure management and automation is cool. Scaling resources is another area where ChatGPT is going to automate things for you and make your life easier. And scaling means you can create auto-scaling groups or scaling the infrastructure, increasing the size of your DBs and whatnot. So again, based on your own specific requirements or needs within the organization, you can actually use this. All right, let's dive into number 3. But before I dive into number 3, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Certainly appreciate that. All right, is self-service support and troubleshooting. Troubleshooting is can become very cumbersome, right? Because constantly, as DevOps engineers or solutions architect, we're looking at self-service support or troubleshooting to users. Now, this can include responding to common questions, providing step-by-step instructions, relevant knowledge-based articles. Because typically, you would go out, like, let's say if you service now, for example, you go out there and you will type a question, and then the knowledge base is going to give you an answer. Sometimes these answers are very, very candid, so it doesn't really give you what you're looking for. Well, with the ChatGPT model, it's going to actually give you a relevant and extract the relevant answer for you, and that's the beauty of it. Right? So the third use case is self-service support and troubleshooting. All right, the fourth, and that's pretty cool, is continuous integration and delivery, CI/CD. So you can actually use ChatGPT to fit this tool, to use ChatGPT into the CI/CD pipeline. That's pretty cool, right? Well, wait, it gets better. So ChatGPT can help manage the CI/CD pipeline by providing updates on build status, triggering new builds, and handling deployments. Okay, so for example, within that stage, when the CI/CD, ChatGPT can, and you can use ChatGPT with Jenkins, you can use it with code commit, whatever it is, right? Code build, AWS native pipeline, it doesn't really matter, right? But the concept is that you can automate your CI/CD pipeline. That's pretty awesome. All right, let's go to number 5, which is analytics and reporting. We have already several tools that do that for us, right? We have dashboards, we get analytics, real time, we get that information. But what ChatGPT can do is provide real-time analytics and reporting on different DevOps metrics, such as server uptime, application performance, and deployment frequency. Because having this information is powerful, okay? So instead of you going fetching that information, or working with CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and other tools like it's third-party tools, like Datadog or Dynatrace, or whatever it is that you want to use, and fetch those analytics. Well, this simple ChatGPT bot that you're going to develop, or have it developed, right, is going to change, and this is the next big thing within the DevOps pipeline. So, analytics and reporting, even though we have tools, but ChatGPT is, of course, customizable, right? And it learns from the existing data sets. And that's the beauty of AI, right? That's the real power of AI that you can actually use and implement. All right, and number 6, last but not least, is onboarding and training. This is very powerful, at least in my experience, because ChatGPT can assist with onboarding and training of new team members or new employees. Typically, when you get hired, well, you get a laptop. The company gives you a laptop. They create user accounts for you. They give you access permissions. They give you a certain environment that you want to work in, and so on, right? So there's so many things that you, as a new employee in a new organization, will get your hands on. So ChatGPT can automate all of these processes because every single time you hire a new employee, guess what? You go through the same process, right? The HR is going to go ahead and send you out a booklet, send you out some documents, send you out some forms, and so forth. So it's going to go ahead and automate all of those tasks for you. So it's a powerful tool for automating and streamlining various DevOps workflows. Once again, it's not going to take your job away, but it's going to automate your workflow as you use it, right? So these are the top 6 use cases. Now I'm going to give you some specific detailed information also, and that's sort of like a bonus that keep it with you when we're talking about ChatGPT as the next big thing in DevOps, okay? So we talked about incident management already, we talked about infrastructure management, we talked about self-support and troubleshooting, we talked about CI/CD application of ChatGPT within the CI/CD pipelines, we talked about onboarding and training, chat ops, by the way, which is a practice of using platforms like Slack or Microsoft Teams. You can integrate ChatGPT with those. Even though you're communicating using Slack, which is fairly common, but if you integrate ChatGPT, it's going to go ahead and give you additional customization or additional power, it's going to cut down time for you and increase your productivity. And that's the buzzword that enterprise companies are really looking for is increasing productivity and then working efficiently, right? That's the idea. And that's really what ChatGPT does, and this is how it kind of works. Now, what I've done is actually when I was using ChatGPT, I sort of gave it a prompt, and I'm going to share this with you so it will kind of help you out, right? So you can create ChatGPT, or I asked ChatGPT, can you create ChatGPT like DevOps self-serve from Slack using various tools and integrations available? And guess what? It gave me a workflow that I'm probably going to share. If you go to blog.claydesk.com, I'm going to list all of these right on our blog. Okay, so once again, it's blog.claydesk.com, or I'm going to post a link in the description also. But you can integrate, and it gives you about 8 steps on how you can integrate or create a ChatGPT like Slack API, and then use various tools to integrate or integrations that are available, and you can use those. For example, you can set up a Slack bot using the Slack API or BotKit or similar framework, and then you can add commands to it. You can integrate the bot, you can set up the NLP engine such as Dialogflow, and then train the NLP engine with example queries and responses. Once you've done that, you can add logic to the bot, right? And this is all a visual workflow, by the way. So if you have not seen BotPress or Dialogflow, it's all like visual workflows that you can actually use, and then you can use arrows to connect from one flow to the other, right? So it's pretty cool if you were to use that. And then you can use Slack's interactive messages, and then set up alerts and notification as you move forward. So, is ChatGPT the next big thing in DevOps? You bet it is, okay? So what that is going to do, if you look at the entire DevOps pipeline from start to finish, you'll notice that there are many areas that you can actually integrate ChatGPT that's going to increase your productivity, that's going to reduce all the time. It's not going to take your job away, guys, and I've said this before. But what this is going to do is going to help you be more efficient, okay? And why not? Why shouldn't we? Because tools are there to make our lives easier. So from going back from monolithic to agile, and boom, to AI, right? That's how I say it, right? That's how it is, and that's how it will be in the future, moving forward. Very soon future, not that far away, guys, right? So ChatGPT is definitely the next big thing in DevOps, or rather the entire DevOps pipeline specifically. But if you like to use this tool in other industries, you can certainly do so, right? If you're working in the healthcare industry or fintech or whatever it is. So think about what this tool can help you with, eliminate all the redundant areas like onboarding employees every single time. You have to go through the same process, right? So you can automate that task. Now, one question that I had from one of my students that I'd like to share right here is, what about scripts? Now, we already have scripts, right, that we use to automate the pipeline. right? As DevOps engineers or enterprise architects, we use scripts all the time. Now, scripts are static, right? They're cumbersome, they're static. You have to create them, and then boom, they're there. If you need to change something to the script, you have to go back and change, and then use it, right? That's how we currently do things. Now with ChatGPT, this is going to change also. Even though you're training the model, you're telling ChatGPT, you're creating a workflow, but that's just doing it once. Now it's going to take, and of course, it's going to learn from your existing scripts. It's going to take all these scripts and then generate. For example, let me give you an example. Terraform. Now we use Terraform, which is infrastructure as code, and then we provision resources, right? Using Terraform, and we can use it to provision resources in multiple cloud environments, whether it's AWS, whether it's Azure or GCP. Now, if you were to use ChatGPT, you can tell ChatGPT to that, hey, here are all the commands, here's the tool, or here are all the script for Terraform, right? So you write the entire Terraform scripts, and depending on your use cases in the company, and then you give it to ChatGPT, train the model, create the workflows, and that's it. It's going to go ahead, and next time it's going to provision resources for you, it's going to create modules for you, and depending on, again, what you have used as an input, right? And that's the beauty of ChatGPT. And I guess by far the most powerful element in ChatGPT is that it's a natural language tool. So you don't have to learn the quotation marks or the script, right? So just say things, and it will just go ahead and fetch all that information for you. You may have to change a little bit here and there, but I think as AI evolves and moves forward in time, like ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT 5, and yeah, you name it, right? All of these things are going to become very, very efficient, guys, right? So if you can start to get your hands on ChatGPT and how you can integrate within the DevOps pipeline, that would be very, very helpful, right? And that's going to build your skill as DevOps engineer or solutions architect, so that you can be a little bit more valuable to the organization, right? And you attend networking events and you talk to your colleagues and things like that. So certainly the next big thing, in my humble opinion, is going to be the AI revolution, which even though has been there all the time, but with ChatGPT, this is going to sort of like take the entire pipeline, and then within the chunks it's going to automate those things, right? Even though scripts do it, but it's going to even do it better, right? So the idea is to become better and better as we move forward. So I hope this helps. Let me know your thoughts, what you think. If you have worked with this, if you have experimented with it. I've given you many, many use cases. Hope these are practical. So comment down below. And of course, hit that subscribe button, guys, and smash that like button. Certainly appreciate that. My name is Syed, and don't forget to check out ClayDesk.com and blog.claydesk.com for additional resources, and all of this information is right there. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and I guess I'll see you guys next time.